You know him, you love him. In that Borla Performance, Heat Wave, Lean Customs, 777, the Beast of the Bay, Matt Field.
I'm Matt Field. I'm from San Jose, California, and I've been drifting professionally for 14 years. I'm kind of one of the old guys now. My favorite thing about drifting is the journey that it's taken me on. Taken me around the world. It's provided me a lifestyle. It's provided me means of living, and it's able for me to be able to provide wages and living and amazing experience for my guys at the same time. You know, we've been in the championship hunt for a lot of years, and I think it's real easy when you're just focused on the championship to be focused completely on the outcome. How do we win? How do we win? The mindset that I take is how can I be better in every aspect, every lap. I want to have the best runs in practice, and I want to win the last run of the night. When we started, it was like, okay, my S14 is a beer can. It's been crashed and straightened so many times. It's time to build a new car. Part shop Max Dan, he was the guy who was just like pushing me into the direction of a Corvette. But no one had really done one built to this level. I knew that if I took the recipe and everything that I knew and learned in the S14 and I put it in this car, I was like, it has to be better. Part shop Max Dan, he freaking believed in me, man. And he was just like, we will take on the huge burden of producing suspension fork. There was no dual caliper mounts, there was no handbrake, there was literally nothing for this car. So that was a huge undertaking, and no matter what, he spent a ton of money helping me develop this car. I was like, I want to do a whole build series. I don't think anyone has done this yet, but I want to film from start to finish building a pro drift car. Overall, it was a great thing to do. I like to think we helped change the drifting community for the better because now the Corvette chassis is accepted. It is a thoroughbred sports car that was born to be on a racetrack. It was everything we could do to try to make Corvette cool again. The C8, huh? I knew I had to do something out of the box. It was one of those things where like it revealed itself to me. The only thing that mattered to me, I was like, man, we got to build one of those cars. We have to be the first to do it. This is a really nice race car, but when you look at the C8, you're like, that's an amazing race car. We took everything that we learned building this car and tried to elevate it. That car is every inch of every angle, of every radius, of every single bracket, and every piece of hardware had to be the best that I could possibly make it. I'm just honored to be a part of the build, and I'm just so thankful for the partners that believed in me to do it because we're finally getting to enjoy it. Once we pull out onto the track, it's not a team sport. But every single second until that moment, it is absolutely a team sport. It's 90% a team sport, and that last 10% is up to you. I'm very fortunate that most of my team has been with me since day one. There's not a lot of turnover here, and I just feel so fortunate that I found a group of people that would literally kill for me.
And the driver that elevated and gets the win is unanimously Oni Bakshis.
In the pros, I still love driving with Odie. I think there's so much to learn from him. I love that I can push 10/10, and I know that if my will keep up with his, we are on par. I love getting out of my comfort zone and learning something new. When I went to D1 in China, and I drove in China for 4 years, that was a completely different driving experience, completely different culture, completely different everything, the weirdest stuff, but I loved it because it got me out of my comfort zone. So, the future of pro drifting, there's no stopping us. We're only going ahead. We're only going to get bigger. Drifting is still very young. We're still in a very young place where everything is growing, and we're all kind of learning. So the community here is super important, and I think we all have the feeling that we're all in this together. I hope that I'm able to introduce the C8 into this sport, and you know, in however many years, I hope we're all drifting supercars out here. That'd be insane. All right, let's get under the hood. Here we are standing in front of the C6. This is the same power plant setup, right? Give or take, that I've been running for the past 6 or 7 years, ever since we switched over to the C6. It is a 427 LS-based engine, Vortex supercharger with nitrous. The cool thing about this car is it's a recipe that is proven. This is a package that I've been able to formulate with Texas Speed over the years to become incredibly reliable. This is something that all of you guys can basically ring up Texas Speed and order. With the ACT clutch that we have in here, twin plate clutch, you can really daily drive it if you wanted to. The electronics package on this car is pretty advanced. Everything is all linked, all the sensors, the digital dash, and it is a Link ECU. This is an off-the-shelf Borla exhaust. It has Momo safety equipment, so all Momo seat, belts, steering wheel. I feel like they're the best in the game. The body panels on this, they're all carbon Kevlar. This is 945 Garage, HGK for the front and rear bumpers, and then Anderson composites for the trunk, hood, and roof. PWR handles all the cooling, so the intercooler, the radiator fans, the intercooler fans. Nitrous is back here. The radiator, PWR radiator, lays flat on the frame rails. The fans are here, and then you can see that the hot air actually comes out of the bumper, right out of the, call that the radiator air run out. And of course, you know, the only thing that'll hold up to 1150 wheel horsepower and all this 50-50 weight balance are drive shaft shop axles. These are the type of partners that keep us racers coming back and make us able to go out and race every single weekend. The new car, which hopefully will be running in 2026, is right over there. Now for the C8 Corvette. And normally we would say, what's under the hood? We gotta go to the back. It's a weird one, I know, come on. At this point, this thing's more of a show car than it is a drift car, but we're changing that. We already have 2 test days under our belt. This is a LS engine. This is a tall deck, raised cam, Concept Performance LSR block, 4 1/4 stroke crank, puts this thing at 468 cubic inches. This is naturally aspirated, high revving, very exotic. The reason why this thing sounds exotic and crispy and almost like a street bike is because when this cylinder fires, the next one to fire is this one, and the next one to fire is that one. And what that actually does is the exhaust pulses help pull the other one out as it's firing and sending it into the collector. This is a transaxle transmission, so that means that the transmission and the diff are all in one. And of course, when I envisioned this thing, I was like, I have to have a K&N sprint car box filter on this. This is a transaxle mount, so it hangs the transaxle, but it also ties the frame rails together. CAD Chris designed this insane billet mount with billet receivers that we welded into the chassis. Anderson composites, carbon doors. Crazy light, crazy expensive too. Cage Kits Cage, same thing. They came out, scanned the chassis. You can tell these door bars are kind of like my style. This is how I like them. C6 carbon fiber dash, the same Momo seats as the race car. Super Cup and a Daytona, red Momo belts, always the best. Momo steering wheel, rugged radios. These cars share the same fuel pump, but this one you can change right out here. So if you ever have a fuel pump issue, you take that plate off, Aeromotive fuel pump, comes right out, drops right in, super handy. PWR radiator, dual spall brushless fans, Aeromotive water pump, radiator mounted. This is something that I'm super proud of. This way, you bolt the water pump directly to the radiator. You lose 4 fittings, a foot of line, whatever it might be, and the water pump is incredibly easy to change. To be honest, we haven't even turned the nitrous on. I've been so freaking terrified of this engine that it made 840 wheel horsepower. I was like, let's leave it. For me to be able to represent an iconic company like Liberty Walk here in the United States on a very American style drift car with a Japanese body kit, it's like, it's the coolest freaking thing ever. So this has a brand new G5 Link ECU. It is a Voodoo Pro. It is the latest and greatest. It has Wi-Fi, it has GPS, it has all the freaking bells and whistles. This thing has 8 O2 sensors, so it is interpreting 8 different cylinders and trimming the fuel to make it exactly what we need and make as much power as possible. And that completely communicates with the AIM, which is the power distribution of the entire car. The goal is to drive this car, develop it, dial it in, and then bring it out here for Formula Drift in 2026. Now it's time, head down, grind, drive this thing, and have a good event this weekend.